guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Heather. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, elementary, middle/high school, and high school age. I keep saying middle/high school, but Jack is doing all high school level courses. He would be in 8th grade if he were in public school. That's why I make the distinction. Today is my monthly reset day. It is a day that I set aside each month to work on planning, to work on thinking tasks, to revisit my goals, which are over there. My office is a complete disaster today. I was spending a lot of time over the past few days going through homeschool stuff. I did not prepare as well for the second semester as I did for the first semester, so I've kind of been going through things. We're ahead in some things, we're a little bit behind in other things, and so just going through all of the instructor's guides, it takes up an awful lot of space. All of the books and the instructor's guides, it's a lot. So today is my monthly reset day, and I'm going to vlog like I normally do. Every month it seems to be a little bit different. This month it is a little bit earlier in the month. I usually do it the 4th or last Thursday of the month, and this is the last Thursday of January, but we do have several more days, so I'm not sure if I'm going to actually get through what my goals are for February or if I'm going to wait until next week to do those. I do want to get the calendars all situated, and I do kind of want to have an idea of what we're going to be doing over the next few weeks for homeschool. We will have our first week off. We do a 6 weeks on, 1 week off schedule. So we will have our first week off in February since we've been back the second semester, and I kind of just need to see all of the things. The kids are starting a research project this week, and that is supposed to go for 7 weeks. So I might extend it a little bit just based on our vacation week. We will see. The kids, Jack and Emma. Lucy does not have a research project to do. So today we woke up to a whole ton of ice outside. We were supposed to run down to the library. I have a bunch of library books to pick up for me, and Emma and Jack requested a bunch of books, but I don't think we're going to be going anywhere. So instead what I'm going to do is get the kitchen cleaned up, make myself some breakfast, try and get my office cleaned up a little bit, and then get started on my calendars. I will start with my family calendar, which lives in our kitchen. It's our big family command center calendar. I use a giant desk pad from Erin Condren. I can put all of the things on there, and it helps my kids to just be able to see everything at a glance. I have a whole list of stuff to do, but until I get things cleaned up, I really can't think about it. So that's what I'm going to do first, and then we will sit down and start working. Okay, so I am ready to start planning. It's almost 11 o'clock. I feel like this happens a lot where I have my planning day, my monthly reset day on my calendar, but then I end up having a bunch of other stuff that I have to do in the morning before I can actually start working on things. And I do have my live stream today at 2:30, so I don't have a ton of time to work before the live stream. Thankfully, my live stream is a co-working live stream, so I will be able to work a little bit on stuff if I need to. I might actually just read today and knit a little bit because I haven't been feeling 100% this week, and so I'm a little dragging a little bit. So what I'm going to do is share what I'm working on today, and then we'll get started. So first, this is just my little monthly planner. This kind of goes with me everywhere when I'm out and about. So I will write appointments and such in here just in pencil, just to have it at the ready. Typically, I will use my Erin Condren Life Planner on my monthly reset day, but I started using this Common Planner from Sterling Ink right at the beginning of January. It is a monthly, weekly, daily planner, and so far I like it quite a bit. It has these monthly pages, and then it has weekly pages, and then it has just blank pages, and it's not going to focus, and there are enough pages for one per day. And so this is what I've been using so far. I did get it like the first week in January, so I didn't really set it up much. So I'm going to be working on that. I printed out this from the Minimal Mom 500 things to declutter right now, and I'm just kind of going through it because decluttering is something that I'm hoping to continue working on this year. I did a lot the first week in January. I have not done a ton since then because we started school. I have my work planner, which is really just like content planning and then notes. And then I have my goals notebook. These are all B5 Lloydstrom notebooks that I'm using. This goals notebook is actually in coordination with my power sheets this year. So I'm going to go through and just check and see where I'm at on my attending list for January. Like I said at the beginning of this video, there are still, I think, 6 days left in the month. So I probably will not do my goals, but I might work a little bit on them today. We'll see. I have my reading journal. I want to make sure that I have updated everything in here and on Goodreads. And then I also have my home planner from Passionate Penny Pincher. So I'm going to go through and look at some of these weekly projects, which I have been terrible at this month. I really have not done any of them at all because I don't think that I really gave myself enough time to think about homeschooling, and we started homeschooling on January 8th. This is my big monthly desk pad from Erin Condren. This is our family command center calendar, so I will go through and update all of this for the month of February. And then I have my budget planner and my homeschool planner, which I will check in with. I do have color coding sticker book, Growing Good Things sticker book for my goals, and then the quick start guide, which hopefully this will come back and be available again in the next couple of months. I know that it isn't available right now, but I do really, really love this quick start guide. If you ever see it at Cultivate What Matters, grab one because there is a ton of great information, book ideas, all kinds of stuff related to goals. So very, very good resource there. Okay, so that is a lot of planners, and I know that that can be overwhelming for some people. I mainly have all of my personal stuff in this little B6 planner, which is actually a little small. And I did not know about that company until, like I said, right at the end of the year in 2023. So I was only able to purchase this particular planner. They did have an A5 size. I don't know if they have any planners available at all now, but I will leave a link for the walkthrough that I did of that planner if you're interested. Yes, so the other planners that I have are really more monthly planners. I don't look at them all the time. I mean, technically my book journal I do use quite a bit because I will put notes in there and quotes, and update it periodically with books that I've read. So I guess, yeah, I might look at them more weekly, but it's not something that I'm planning in daily. I don't want you to think that it's super overwhelming. It just helps me to kind of compartmentalize my life a little bit into different categories. It helps it be a little less stressful for me. If I tried to keep everything in one planner, I'm not sure that I could feasibly do that, to keep everything in one planner. I think that it would just be so many pages to flip back and forth through that it would be more overwhelming to me personally. The home planner is more just a reference for me, and I'm just going to try and kind of compile some of the idea lists that I've had over this month. Once I get to the end of a month, I start to feel the need to organize and think about things. I will take notes throughout the month of things that I want to focus on during my monthly reset day. This month, I've been spending a lot of time on homeschooling and thinking about tech and how to implement a tech detox and what that really means for my family and our homeschool, my work and everything. So that's what I've been kind of focusing on. So I do have a few things that I want to look at that way. I think that as we move into February, it's going to be a lot more decluttering stuff that I need to break down different areas of my house that we have not addressed yet. Last year was a big home management year for me with my goals. This year, it's kind of a continuation. Yes, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna first do my family calendar. I always feel much better once I have that on the wall, because at least then everybody kind of knows where they need to be on certain days. And that is very helpful. So that's what we're going to focus on first. And then I will probably follow that up with setting up my personal planner this teeny tiny. It's so small, guys. So this is a monthly planner from Erin Condren, this flowery planner. That is my budget journal. So it's just a monthly planner, but this, see how much smaller it is? It's so much smaller, but I do really like it. I like to have the monthly, weekly, and daily all in the same spot. I have not seen that ever before. So even my daily planner from Erin Condren, my daily duo, was in 2 books. So having it all in one book, obviously the pages are a lot thinner, but I do like it. All right, I'm just going to keep chatting, and now it really is 11 o'clock, so I need to get going. I'm going to make myself coffee first though. Maybe a nice coffee. I had a cold brew the other day from Dunkin' Donuts, and I don't have any cold brew in the house, but I might make a nice latte instead. Okay, so I finished our family calendar and my personal calendar. My personal calendar is so very messy. I just have not gotten used to this paper yet. It's a little bit smoother than the Erin Condren paper, so when I'm using the different colored pens that I have, they smudge if I don't let them dry. And I'm so used to Erin Condren paper that I don't ever let things dry. So things look a little bit messier than maybe they could, but I've gotten pretty much everything down on the calendar that I need to for family and personal stuff. I did go through and write in the little notes section the first 8 projects of the year from the Passionate Penny Pincher Home Planner, which is this, and I don't know when exactly I will work on those. I am actually considering using that week off that we have in February from homeschool to do the majority of the cleaning projects that I want to do for the month of February. I know that that sounds strange, but I do clean the house and have just general cleaning routines, and the kids help out and things stay tidy. But the bigger projects, honestly, I do not have enough time during the week to work on those when I'm homeschooling. When we are not homeschooling, I am super productive with those things, but when we are homeschooling, I really just don't have time, or I don't prioritize time for those cleaning tasks because I prioritize time for homeschooling. I think that's probably what I will end up doing, but I still need to go through my goals and figure out what areas I want to work on in the month of February. I do have these big decluttering projects that I want to get to. Some of them are in the basement, and it is really cold in the basement right now because it is the middle of winter in Maine, so I don't necessarily want to be down there. The ones that I'm talking about are in our unfinished area of the basement, which is not heated. We have finished space in the basement that is heated. The unfinished space is not heated, so I just don't want to go down there. It's kind of dark and cold and gross. So I don't know when I will get to that. It may not be until the summer, we'll see. But I've gotten my family calendar done. I've gotten my personal calendar done. I do want to start looking at my book journal and going through my goals just to kind of check in. I've said this 3 times now, but you know, we have several days left in January. I don't know what I will be able to accomplish this weekend or starting next week. So I just want to check in and see if there are any things that I really want to make sure that I put on the schedule for the next couple of days. Tomorrow is our screen-free day, so it gives me a little bit more time to work on projects because I'm not as focused on like computer-based learning with the kids, like homeschooling, chemistry, and things like that for Emma. So it's a little bit lighter for me. Not really lighter, but it seems like it for some reason. So that is the next thing that I'm going to work on, the goals, my books, and going through that 500 things to declutter right now. I also downloaded a 50 things to declutter right now. A lot of these, it says 500 things, but if you read through the list, some of them are very, very similar. Let me see. Broken or unused toys, older unused books, unused craft supplies, outdated or unused school supplies, unused or broken sports equipment, old or damaged stuffed animals, unused board games and puzzles. So a lot of these are similar things, like unused or broken toys. There's probably 15 other things on this kids' bedroom list that are also unused and broken toys, but just much more specific. So I might go through and like cross some of those things off, or I might leave them and give the list to my kids to look at. But the kids' bedrooms are pretty much done, which I did at the beginning of January. So I'm happy about that. But there's all kinds of other things. The kitchen, I don't really have much in the kitchen that I need to go through. The garage, yes. The bathrooms, yes. So I'm going to go through that, books, goals, and then I'm probably going to make lunch and get ready for my live stream. Okay, so I did a little bit in my work planner. I looked through my book journal and made sure all of that was updated. I did go through my goals a little bit. I don't think I'm going to do my goals today. I might work on them a little bit during my live stream, but for the most part, I think I'm going to wait until maybe Monday, Tuesday next week to work on them, or maybe I will sit down and do them this weekend. I haven't decided if I want to do them on camera or not, which is how I have been doing my goals for the past year and a half. Pretty much, I would set up my tending list in my Erin Condren Life Planner in the dashboard pages, but because I am using the Power Sheets again this year, I'm still trying to get comfortable with them, and I don't know, maybe that would be helpful to some people to see me struggle to figure out exactly what I want to do. But I do feel pretty good about my goals for this month. I have gotten quite a bit done, which I'm pleased with. Some of the decluttering stuff, like I said earlier, has not gotten done, and that's totally okay. I'm going to push it forward to February, maybe even March, I'm not sure. I did just update my budget and did my spend tracking. I try to do that weekly. I have a whole budget series if you want to see kind of how I budget and how I do spend tracking and stuff. I will leave a link for that series in the description box, but I just went through to double check with my bank statements to make sure everything lined up, and it does. And that has been probably the single best thing that has helped me with my finances over the past year or so, to really keep a good control on what we're spending each month for groceries, for homestead things like for the chickens, dog stuff, vet bills, vitamins, household stuff like paper products and cleaning supplies and all of that. I have a very good idea of how much we need to spend each month in those categories. It just makes me feel a little bit better to have such a good control on that. So I definitely recommend it if you are looking to work on your finances in 2024. Spend tracking is so helpful. What else did I work on? I think that is about it. I did go through the weekly projects when I was doing my personal planning. I haven't done my homeschool planning yet. It's 12:15, so I'm going to figure out what the kids want for lunch and then get my live stream scheduled on YouTube and posted in Patreon. And then I'm probably going to take a little bit of a break and just clean up my office a little bit, which is a disaster. I thought I would clean it up before I started working, but I ended up just coming and sitting at the dining room table because that was a little bit easier. I don't know how much more I'm going to get done today, but I feel really good about what I have done, and I always feel better once I have a chance to sit down and kind of go through some of those nagging things that have been on my mind that I just write down in my planner to think about today. One of the things that I will be spending a little bit more time considering, which I will probably do when I'm on my break, is simplify, slow, and continuing to think about my tech usage, tech detox. I did write a whole blog post about it last week, which was really cathartic for me to go through and do. I'll leave a link for that in the description box if you enjoy blogs. I have been writing at Townsend House since 2011, but I've been sharing online since 2001, so I have a lot of information need to really go through and update things probably. But I really enjoyed writing through kind of my thought process around technology, but it is something that I'm considering a lot this year with my word of the year, simplify, and kind of bleeding back into slow, which was my word for 2023. So I do want to spend some time doing that, but right now I'm very hungry, so I'm going to make lunch for myself and the kids, and then we will see what the rest of the day brings. It is about 1:15, so I have about an hour before I have to get ready for my live stream. I have a pile of books and planners that I'm going to work on, and some library books over there. I think that's what I'm just going to spend my time doing this afternoon, is just going through some books and reevaluating some of my goals. Not really reevaluating, but figuring out the strategy to move forward with some of the action steps that I have. A lot of my goals are recreation based this year. It's about learning to slow down, learning to not constantly be doing, not constantly working off of a to-do list. Obviously, every day there are tasks that need to be done. That is a given. There's always going to be homeschool planning to be done. There's always going to be cleaning and meals and all of those things. But the extra projects that I do around the house, I'm trying to figure out a better time management strategy for those things so I'm not constantly working on them. I've said this in several videos. I like to stay busy. I like to organize. I like to declutter. I like to move things around, furniture, and all of that kind of stuff. But I also really enjoy knitting and reading and just hanging out with my kids and playing games and doing puzzles and watching movies. And a lot of those things I don't typically do. I do read a lot, but my main reading is done first thing in the morning for nonfiction reading and when I go to bed for fiction reading. That is primarily when I do my reading. Yes, when I'm doing like dishes and vacuuming in general, my daily tasks and stuff, I will put on an audiobook to listen to, or if I go for a walk, I often will listen to an audiobook. But the majority of my enjoyable reading is once everybody has gone to bed and I am in bed reading. So I don't want to only do enjoyable things like after 9 p.m. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't want to be constantly working all day, every day. And it's hard because I do have a lot of plates in the air that I am trying to keep in the air. And so figuring out what the most important things are, I mean, I have a good handle on that, but when I have pockets of time where I could do something enjoyable or more hobby-based or just sit and rest, I tend to not do that and instead work on a project. So we'll see. So I'm going to kind of evaluate some of that stuff, and I may work on my goal breakdown page, the break it down page in the power sheets as well. I'll put a picture up because I don't have my power sheets here at the moment, because I think that that would probably help me before I set up my tending list, obviously. That is a big part of my goals. So I might sit down and do that off camera and then just do my tending list on camera. I know that you probably don't care about my filming so much, but when I'm editing, it will remind me. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to sit and make a cup of tea and read through some of the resources that I have, then get on my live stream. And I think that's about it for the day. Yeah, it seems like I was very efficient with my time once I started working around 11 and just getting stuff done. I worked for probably an hour and a half, and then that was about all the time that I needed to go through my stuff. I do still have, like I said, my goal stuff. I do still have some homeschool things that I want to list out, so maybe I'll do that this afternoon as well. But I'm feeling really good about how the day is gone. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do now, and we'll check in shortly. So I just finished my live stream, which was really good. I actually got quite a bit done on my goals. I didn't think I was going to take time to do goals today, but I did want to kind of brainstorm a little bit about some of the things. I also wanted to go through my Q1 action plans and brain dump lists that I had made at the beginning of the year, just to kind of see where I'm at. I tend to plan maybe not so much in Q1, mainly because I want to ease into the year and I don't want to overwhelm myself so that I'm not making any progress. But I've actually made quite a bit of progress in January on the things that I wanted to work on during Q1. There are definitely some things that I haven't done, which I've already mentioned. The decluttering is a big one, but a lot of the not thinking tasks, but relating to simplify and my creating a rule of life and creating a rhythm of renewal and working through the Life-Giving Home by Sally Clarkson. I'm feeling really, really good about slowing down and simplifying things, which is a real priority for me this year. So I did get quite a bit done with my goals. I haven't actually done my goals or done anything in the power sheets. It was more just kind of brain dump stuff and figuring out what we have coming up in February. And I will most likely use that week off for homeschool to do a lot of home projects that I'm not doing when we are homeschooling. That's one of the bigger changes that I've made this homeschool year, starting in this past July. Because we're doing a 6 weeks on, 1 week off schedule, I am not taking time during those homeschooling weeks to do a lot of home management projects, bigger home management projects, like big decluttering projects, or redoing one of the kids' bedrooms, or going through all of the clothes that we have stored in the basement to see what we should keep and what we should donate or throw away. Those types of projects I'm not doing while we're homeschooling. And the reason is because I don't want to be doing all of the time. And I feel like if I'm trying to manage those bigger projects while we're homeschooling and then we have some time off, I'm so exhausted I can't enjoy that time off. So instead, what I've been doing is using that week off partly for home projects and partly for rest and renewal, and it's working really, really well. And I think that it's going to continue to work well as long as I keep my boundaries, which is something that I'm working on for this year. So I'm going to wrap up this vlog here today. I hope that you enjoyed it. I was supposed to record a video today all about the books that I've read so far this month. I did not do it, so I'm going to hopefully get this video up for tomorrow instead. We shall see. But again, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have questions about anything that I talked about, you can certainly leave me a comment or email me. My contact form is always in the description box. If you'd like to come over and check out my membership community, I would love to have you come over there. We have a great group of women and we are focused on goals and homeschooling and home management. It's a lot of fun and everyone is super supportive, so I would love to see you over there. So I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye.